All right, all right. Welcome back to I'm Still in the Office with David Carmena. That's right, guys. I am still in the office. Now, tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the job market. We're going to discuss the latest job market numbers. They just came in today. And it's Friday. It's Friday and it's Cinco de Mayo. And guess what? There's not a Mexican holiday without a fight. That that's right. We got a fight. We got a fight coming in here, and I'm going to cover that fight. We're going to talk about the job market. We're going to see if it's up or down, how it's going to help us, but then also going to have a little levity tonight. We're going to have a little fun tonight. So again, welcome to David Carmena. I'm still in the office. We're going to take a look at this job market and see how it came in. Let's go. Here we go.
And welcome to the News Hour. The U.S. labor market is again showing its resilience amid other economic obstacles, including recent banking failures. The latest jobs report found job growth was higher than expected last month, with 253,000 new jobs spread throughout many sectors of the economy. The unemployment rate dipped to 3.4%, matching the lowest rate since 1969. Paul Salmon looks at the newest data and how robust job growth squares with the expansion of the gig economy.
That 253,000 jobs created is really, really solid.
In fact, say economists like Neela Richardson, the latest jobs data came in strong, despite a downward revision of jobs created in the previous 2 months.
More people came into the labor market, and so that helped it burst supply and was met by strong hiring demand from companies. Good, solid job gains matched with moderating wage growth. That's good news for the economy and for inflation.
Not particularly good news for workers, concerned their wage growth isn't keeping pace with inflation, right?
Actually, as inflation has come down, the wage growth we're seeing has at least edged out inflation over the last couple of months. But you're absolutely right. And so the issue is, how do you get wage growth not to decelerate more quickly than inflation comes down?
All right. So let's stop it there for a second. Now here, guys, we always go with the receipts. We're not going to let definitions, or we're not going to let people talking heads come up on the show. The Still in the Office show, and not without pulling up the receipts. We got to pull up the receipts. So let's do this. Let's check how legit the sister is. Now she's an expert, so we're gonna see what she has. Let's go ahead and let's check her out here. I'm going to share my screen. I just so happen to have her LinkedIn up. Let me add that to the screen. Now, this sister is, well, let's take a look here. Nella Richardson. She is out in New York metropolitan area. Okay. Let's see. SVP, chief economist, and co-head of ADP research. Now, all right. She's been there 2 years, almost 3 years. Edward Jacobs, she was there for a couple of years, various positions. She was chief economist at Redfin, so she need to know a little bit about the housing market. From there, Bloomberg, she was there for 3 years. She was at Redfin for 4 years. Okay. And then she was a professor. What? Okay. All right, let's go down a little bit further. And sister got a PhD. And it's not even saying, hey, listen, I'm a PhD. She's not saying that. So awesome. Let's continue on. With her receipts. PhD, her MBA, BA. Let's see. She got a PhD out of Maryland. All right. So she's legit. She seemed to be all right. All right. All right. Okay. So let's go to the chat. You guys tell me. I think she's pretty legit. I think she's pretty legit. I think that she can probably come in and tell us, hey, listen, these is what's happening. I'm going to add back the job report, and we're going to continue on with the job report. And also, old sister looks, she looks pretty good. She looks pretty good. All right, let's see what she has to do. Let's add the job report right on back. Get it started. Now that we know, sister knows.
The logic: modest wage growth lowers what companies can charge and expectations of future inflation, which eventually the Fed and the rest of us hope drives inflation below wage growth. But a question: with unemployment so low, how come the gig workforce remains so high? Economist Catherine Abraham.
A lot of people who talk about the gig economy are really thinking about just platform work, Uber, Lyft.
Just a few million Americans.
But it's actually much bigger than that. There are many more people, maybe on the order of as many as 14-15% of the workforce who are working as self-employed, independent contractors, doing a whole variety of things.
That would be more than 20 million of us. And talk about a variety of things.
I grow and sell medicinal herbs and flowers.
And that's not 38-year-old Lindsay Ferguson's
Hey, we know what those medicinal
hustle.
herbs and flowers are, guys. We know what that is.
With various dance troupes. I perform burlesque.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting into drag performance.
Drag.
And I take photos of myself. I'm a model, and I sell those shots online for money.
Pretty much anything you can do in the
OnlyFans. Oh, girls, OnlyFans. She got that side hustle for real, for real. OnlyFans. Well, hey, listen, you got to get your money somewhere, okay? You got to get that money somewhere. So, she came in and say, hey, I'm up front. Hey, listen, I gotta get my hustle on. We're gonna pull her back. I'm gonna check her out. See where she is. Let's go back a little bit. Pull her up a little bit. All right. Let's take a look at her again, guys.
Companies can charge and expectations of future inflation, which eventually the Fed and the rest of us hope drives inflation below wage growth. But a question: with unemployment so low, how come the gig workforce remains so high? Economist Catherine Abraham.
A lot of people who talk about the
Now,
gig
I pulled her
economy
up.
are really thinking about
She's a PhD
just
also.
platform work, Uber, Lyft.
From Harvard.
Just a few million Americans.
But it's actually much bigger than that. There are many more people, maybe on the order of as many as 14-15% of the workforce who are working as self-employed, independent contractors, doing a whole variety of things.
That would be more than 20 million of us. And talk about a variety of things.
I grow and sell medicinal herbs and flowers.
And that's not 38-year-old Lindsay Ferguson's sole side hustle.
I perform in the Bay Area with various dance troupes. I perform burlesque. I'm getting into drag performance, and I take photos of myself. I'm a model, and I sell those shots online for money.
Oh!
Pretty much anything you can do in the regular economy, you can do in the gig economy.
Kathy Christoph runs sidehustle.com, which hooks up freelancers with gigs.
You can make money playing games. There's a website that will allow you to take in other people's laundry. Almost any service you can provide, there's an online platform that will help you market that service.
And supplement income from your regular job, assuming you have one.
All of the full-time work that I do and the side hustles that I do does not keep up with the rate of inflation, which is why I need to supplement my full-time money with the various gigs that I do.
Spencer Cohn is a gig puppeteer.
I work full-time for a nonprofit agency right outside of New York City. And on the side, I'm a freelance puppeteer.
And that's why your arm is fuzzy there?
Yep, I've got one of my puppets right here. Hi there, my name is Gary J. Platypus.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Did you guys see his mouth totally move? What's up with that? Look at, hi, I'm a puppeteer. Mouth just maiming off the words. I mean, I hope he don't. I'm glad that it is a side hustle for him. I am glad it is a side hustle for him. Old boy needs some help. All right, let's go back to it. Look at his mouth. Look at his mouth, guys. Look at his mouth. Now, we shouldn't be making fun of people. We really shouldn't. But look at it. Look at old boy's mouth. Here we go.
I'm a freelance puppeteer.
And that's why your arm is fuzzy there?
Yep, I've got one of my puppets right here.
Check him out.
Hi there. My name is Gary
Look at his mouth.
Platypus. Oh.
Nice to meet you. Cohn is among the few who makes enough at his day job. His side hustle is for fun. But why do millions of workers continue to rely on gig work exclusively with all the job signs out there? Flexibility, says food delivery driver Shirley Cox.
I don't have a 9 to 5. I can work at 1 a.m. if I need to, or I can do extra hours, on the weekend. Those are the advantages.
But, says Cox,
the market has gotten very saturated. You have to work more hours than I did initially to make the amount that I used to make before.
In fact, Cox has cut back on her hours. Why?
I'm just in the process of looking for work. And so that takes up a lot of time. Job hunting is a job in itself.
Cox's search fits with the most recent data Anna Zhou of Bank of America has seen.
A decline in terms of people doing these type of gig jobs over the last 12 months.
What's going on?
They might be rotating into more traditional jobs. So think about, they might be working in a clothing store at a mall now instead of writing and deliveries, right?
But there are still plenty of gig workers out there, says economist Paul Oyer, an authority on the subject.
There are long-term trends in the gig economy, and those continue to be the same as they've been for a long time. And that is slow and steady growth as more workers want flexibility and as more firms want flexibility too.
Which is how Neela Richardson sums up the gig economy.
It allows people to add on to employment if they need the money to make that employment flexible. And so there is right now a symbiotic relationship between what companies need right now and what gig workers are able to provide.
That and the need of so many Americans for side hustles in a high inflation economy, like Lindsay Ferguson.
At the end of the month, I lose my full-time job, which is rent money, but also my health insurance, which is why I'm doing everything I can to schedule my dental cleanings and my blood panels while I still have coverage, because come the end of the month, I lose my full-time job.
And finds herself back, like about a third of all gig workers, with side hustles as the only income she's got.
All right. So let's break that down. First, I want to recognize and thank you, brother. Christopher Williams, thank you, brother. Listen for the $5 spot, $4.99 spot. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. You come in, you were the first guy in the chat. You are supporting a brother. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being so active in the chat. And a couple things I want to cover before we get to the second thing is that here we go. Real Bravado Network came in, dropped by to say hey today. Thank you, brother. Thanks for dropping by me today. And Real Bravado Network had a salute to Kevin Samuels. He hopped on and say, hey, the Godfather, salute. It's been a year that you passed, and as always, he was a bright spot, a leader to many men, and he, like so many people, passed too soon. He's a controversial figure, but most people are that's tried to make a difference. So here's your salute, your flowers, R.I.P. KS. Real Bravado, you did a great job. Randy, hey everyone. Hey, Randy. Randy needs to show her face, but she is another very, very strong supporter of the channel. I remember when Randy and I were just starting. I did my first live stream and Randy showed up. It must have been 2 a.m. or something like that. Randy pops in and say, hey, gave a brother some love. Hey, I appreciate you. Randy. Randy's out there in California. Shout out to California. Thank you, Randy, for coming by the show. And Crystal Williams, gave the salute to KS. Hey, RIP. Thank you, Krista Williams, for that $5 spot. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So now there's a couple things that they did not say in the report. That was a very, very positive piece that the editor of that particular spot did on the job market. The couple of other things that the job report showed is just an overview. It was up. It was up by 253K new jobs in last month. So that's good. That's positive. The unemployment rate dipped to 3.4%. So that's good. It's a slight dip in the unemployment rate. And they talked about a term, gig economy. Gig economy. I hate it when people come up and invent these terms, and what they're trying to do is separate us by dialogue, separate us by a dictionary. Gig economy is nothing more. Let me add the screen. Pull up this definition. Gig economy. Let me full screen it. All it is, guys, is, if you can read that, it says a labor market characterized by the prevalence of short-term contracts or gigs or freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs. So a side hustle. A lot of people are doing side hustle work, and that's why they coined this term, gig economy. And that's all it is. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing great. It's just gig economy. But what they didn't show in the report is that they didn't cover the looming job market losses. When a major company is going to fire people, they have to file an SEC. In most cases, they have to do an SEC filing. That's what they say. Hey, listen, these are the pending jobs that that we plan on firing or letting off or putting on something other than full-time employment, basically firing. And so there's a lot of layoffs that are coming. And this is the reason why economists are thinking that two streams of thinking here. One is that the Fed chair, like I said, don't think that we're going to go into a recession, because he knows this information, but he doesn't think that we're going to go into a recession. And then there's a group that says we're going to have a mild recession at the end of 2023, and then we're going to pull out of it at 2024. So there's two philosophies out there, competing philosophies. And I just want to show you guys that these are I have them here in my notes. These are the expected layoffs. Now, if you guys are part in any one of these companies I'm going to read off, you should be really thinking about conserving your income. I hope that you're not in this wave of layoffs that's coming up, but they're coming. So we have IBM. IBM is scheduled to lay off in 2023 1.5% of their workforce. We have S&P, 2.5%. Accenture, 2.5%. eBay, 4% of its workforce. Dell, lay off or fire 5% of its workforce. This is all in 2023. Morgan Stanley, 5%. Google, 6% of the workforce. Spotify, 6%. Goldman Sachs, 6.5%. GoDaddy, if you get your domain, your website domain, you're looking at 8% layoff this year. GoDaddy. Zoom in when the pandemic really started, what's that, 2020, and everyone had to stay home and work, Zoom was hot. Now, not so much. They're going to lay off 15% of their workforce. LinkedIn, I use them a lot. LinkedIn, 15% of their workforce. Coinbase is 20% of the workforce. Dropbox, that's another software package that I use, 16% of the workforce. We have Open Door. Open Door is if you're not familiar with Open Door, they are the part of the iBuyers. What they do is they buy homes and sell them online, sort of like a Redfin model, and they're laying off 22% of their workforce in 2023. We have Lyft, we all know them. They're laying off 26%. We have Twitter. Now, shout out to Elon Musk. Elon Musk bought the company. He immediately laid off half of the staff almost from day one. So Elon went in with the cleaver. He's going to lay off in 2023 some more, undisclosed. He didn't disclose an exact amount, but he's already laid off 50%. I would imagine he is going to lay off more. Now, this was a surprise. Virgin Orbit, that's I'm sure you've seen those guys when the celebrities buying a $250,000 ticket to go into low Earth orbit. They're laying off 85% of their workforce, 85% of their workforce in 2023. Now, I'm wondering if they did not win a contract in 2023. Maybe they something didn't go right. 85% of your workforce is a lot of layoffs. So we have these layoffs that are happening in the workforce. All these are going to happen in 2023, and it is not looking good for if you're in one of these companies, work for one of these companies, or if you're in the tech. If you're in tech, it's IT, tech, startup, or if anything really other than cybersecurity. Last year in 2022, they laid off or fired 90,000 jobs estimate. This year in 2023, they've already laid off an astonishing 190,000 jobs. So 190,000 people that is in the tech industry has lost their job, and it is only the 5th month of the year. So it is brutal out there for people who are in the IT tech field, especially now that the bank is doing is tightening and access to capital is tightening. So giga jobs or giga economy is where we want to go. We want to think about side hustles. We want to think about ways that we can generate income. We want to think about ways we can generate income. Now, let's talk about some of those ways. Cybersecurity. I'm a real estate guy. Real estate is going to be a little difficult because of the fact that access to capital is going to be pretty steep. So if you are doing one of these service areas, a couple of the bright spots are still, service heavy industries. We're talking about medical, daycare. Just today, I have a client that is interested in buying an assisted living facility. That assisted living facility is one way where she's going to be making. This is a Black female, single, attractive. She is a lawyer, has her own tax practice. She's one of those women. She's one of those women. She's that girl. And she's been over the past few years been buying up assisted living facilities or other facilities that are in the medical space. And, that is still an opportunity to take care of, provide a service in the community as well as make money from providing that service. And I don't think that that's something can be outsourced. I think that there's still, we still have to take care of the elderly. We still have to take care of people. We still have to take care of people. So I think that something like that is probably good. Put in the chat if you guys have any concerns about the industry that you're in. I want to know what jobs are you guys do on a day to day. I'm really interested in jobs that are careers that are sustainable. That you hopefully you're not in IT, or you have some type of side hustle, 7 streams of income, multiple streams of income for your job. So put if you care to put information in the chat on different jobs, we can talk about job market. Also, if there are anyone in the chat that have a question about the jobs report, what it means, what is the outlook, and how it applies to the economy at large, go ahead and put that question in the chat. I'd love to go ahead and talk to you guys and see how we can answer any questions on that. All right. I want to make sure that checking the sound. Now, I'm scrolling through YouTube today, and I see something that is super funny. Super funny. I'm going to share this with you guys. As you guys know, it's about a serious topic. I'm going to set the stage. Most of everyone knows that, Ukraine and Russia has been fighting over territory. Is one of those situations that they have been at war for a while. It is serious. People are dying. It's not good. Russia initially thought that this was going to be a cakewalk, and I got to hand it to those Ukrainians. Them boys are putting up a fight. Being an ex-military guy, I can appreciate you fighting for your country. I was in the Navy for 11 years, guys. 11 years. I was a CTM, and what that is that I basically, my section is strong. Hey, how you doing? What that means is that I basically had provided intelligence to the troops. And my first duty station was overseas. And overseas, when you go overseas, most of you guys may not know this if you have never been overseas, but most countries, I was in Italy, most countries, you had to do a year or 2 years of service to that country. You had to spend 2 years in the military or 1 year in the military and teach. You had to do something. You had to do something for your country. Okay. And so you will see a lot of these young guys that's in the military. They do their couple of years, and they build fierce loyalty for their country. So I spent my early years I guess I joined the Navy when I was right out of high school, maybe 19 years old. And my first duty station was Italy. Then I went all over the world. I had a great time. I really did have a great time. But Ukraine and Russia been fighting, and they have been it's been unexpectedly competitive. Russia is much bigger than Ukraine, as you know. They thought that it was going to come over and basically annex whatever piece of territory that they need, and the Ukrainians are fighting back. So I saw this the other day. I mean, earlier today, and I set the stage for you guys. And here we go. I set the stage so that you can have a backdrop to this. It's oh, it is a serious. I shouldn't be laughing. I should not be laughing, but because this is serious. This is serious. But look at this, and we're going to talk. We're going to on the other side. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about this. Let me add it to the stream. Let me know what you guys think. Let me run this. Oh, 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 it's a fight. It's a fight.
It's our flag. We're gonna fight for this flag.
All right, so old boy walks over there like a G. Look at this. Let's look at this, guys. Now, this is the Russian, the guy in the black suit is the Russian ambassador. The guy in the blue suit that is doing what seemed to be an interview is the Ukrainian ambassador. Okay. So the Russian ambassador walks over and grabs the Ukrainian ambassador's flag. All right, let's look at it. So he's walking over like a G. Look at this. Look at this. Now, how bold is that? How bold is that? He walks over and grabs the man's flag. All right, so he goes over, he walks away. Yeah, okay, all right, all right. I'm not even looking behind me. You know, I'm, you know, I'm Russia. I'm the G. I grabbed the man's flag and I'm gonna walk off. Oh boy! But what he did not know is old boy had the hands. Old boy had the hands. Look at this. Left, right, left. Look at let's pull this back. Now, these are diplomats, guys. These are not everyday people, okay? These are diplomats. Could have been an international incident. But old boy got the hands. Let's pull them back. Pow, 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 pow. Look. Is that an MMA? I thought he was going to do a rear naked choke on old boy. Look at this. Look at this. Russian guy has no hands. No hands. Here we go. Look. Grabs the flag. He's checking he's checking the nose. Now the security is coming in. These are the security guys. Okay, I'm gonna translate you for you. I'm gonna translate it. Hold on a second. I'm gonna translate. This is my translating voice.
No, this is my translating voice. Okay, so old boy. All right, what that is what the hell are you doing? Grabbing my flag. Please go away. Go away. Don't. No incident. Go away. No fight. No fight.
We're gonna fight for this.
What? You don't want to fight? I'll whoop that ass. What? Don't touch my flag.
Oh, guys.
Now that was a fight. That was a fight. We should not be laughing at things like this. I should not be laughing at things like this because, it is something like that could grow. That could grow into a real incident, But old boy walked over like a G. He grabbed the man's flag. I can only think of serious talk. I can only think of when I was in the military and I was, even now, guys, someone come over and disrespect the flag. I guess my military background is coming in. Now, I believe in free speech. I do. I believe in free speech. But you on the interview and someone grab your flag. In the chat, I want to know, was the Ukrainian diplomat, was he right by swinging, showing them hands? In the chat, put a 1 if you would have whipped that ass, okay? And put a 2 if you would have let calmer heads prevail. 1 is down, it's on. 2 in the chat is that he overreacted and he should have sought a diplomatic solutions. 1 or 2 in the chat. Because I tell you guys, as you guys are putting information in the chat, as I tell you guys, I mean that it would have been a fight. It would have been a fight. And Christopher, you said that he overreacted? No fight? Okay, so good. 1, fight. 2, no fight. Because old boy came over, like, I'm gonna see it one more. Gotta see it one more time. So boy came over and he was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go over here and grab my boy flag. I'm gonna walk away. And then old boy came on him and say, hey, listen, you're gonna have to take these 1s and 2s with you. You're gonna have to take these 1s and 2s with you. Let me look at it one more time and then we're gonna move on. Look at this. Walks over like a G. Pow! Wow! Oh! Ooh! He got a couple of 3-4 licks on him. Now, to be fair, the guy was he was a lot younger, and the Russian official was much older. So to be fair, it was an uneven fight. However, you don't walk around there. You don't come over there and grab another country's flag. You don't do that. No, that's fighting. That's fighting. So those are the two things that really happened in the world of the economy today. We had, again, recapping, we had a very favorable job market report. A lot of people think that the job market report will be revised down because the last 2 quarters, when they submitted a report, the last report was revised down almost 30%. So if the market is the job report is revised down, then you're still looking at pretty strong, pretty robust growth. You really are. So having a job market that even in was meeting expectations, which is around 130 to 150,000 jobs added, is still a very good report. A very good report. And the market responded very favorably. I'm looking at the market numbers. I'm going to add this to the stream. The Dow came in. It was pretty strong for this type of report. So I'm going to add this here. You guys can see. You can see where the Dow surged today by 540 points. So that's a good surge. All of this information came out after the job market report was announced. So that all of that came out after. We had, if you look at the various indexes, they also were strong. You had the Dow, it came in today at 1.65% up. S&P today was 1.85% up. And NASDAQ was 2.25% up. So all of these markets came in higher, well over 1.5%. Like I said, 1.6, 1.85, and then 2.25%. You had a lot of winners on the market. You had 10% up. Let's see if we had any losers. So today was a very strong day over the key indexes, key companies you're looking at. Let's see, I'm seeing a bunch of 5s, all the way up to 5% or better, all the way up to, I see a 10%, almost 11% increase. So it was a very good day on the market today. Like I said, the job report came in with a better than expected showing, and then that's why the market came in so favorably. Randy K is a fighter. Randy K is a fight. I would have never. You guys got to talk to this person. She's so demure and respectful, and I would have never have thought that she wanted to throw hands. Oh, she wanted to throw hands. Go ahead. She wanted to throw hands. Randy, you are a lady of unexpected qualities. Let's say that. You are. Randy wanted to throw hands, and Christopher Williams wanted to talk about it. So again, that's very, very surprising. I know that the market was good. The job report was good. We had Christopher Williams laughing at a brother. We had a very positive day. So just want to hop in. What I'm going to do on a daily basis is I'm going to come in. I'm going to talk a little bit about the market. I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened that day, and I'm going to tie what happened that day back into how it would affect us. And I'm going to assume that affecting us is a couple things. You are an individual that is either in the market, you are in real estate, you're doing something to build wealth, or you are a homeowner or wanting to be a homeowner, and you want to have multiple streams of income. So everything I do is going to tie back to that. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the format, guys, is that I'm going to talk about the current events, and then I'm going to make an attempt to tie that back to our bread and butter, what hits our table. Okay. So good market, a good jobs report means that, one, people are still getting hired. There's still plenty of jobs out there. Now, this is for the economy at large, guys. We're not talking about our communities. And that's what someone really needs to. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to see if I can find where it's reported the true job numbers for the urban communities, the black and brown communities. I want to know what those true numbers are, because when someone says that, okay, well, there's 3 jobs, 4 jobs for everybody that's looking, what they don't tell you, let me tell you a little secret. When someone says that it's all these jobs and for anyone that's looking, and you have a job report, they kind of cook the numbers a little bit. They really do. Because if you have you're looking for a job, okay, so if you're looking for a job and then you can't find a job and you stop looking, they will count you as not looking for a job, meaning that they won't count you as a job seeker, a person that's looking for a job. They will, so that doesn't go into the unemployment numbers. So the unemployment numbers don't necessarily mean that number covers everybody that's unemployed. No, they've cooked those numbers. And so that is something that we want to really acknowledge, is that those numbers can be taken with a grain of salt. And it's been done by both administrations. It's been done by the Republican administration and the Democrat administration. They all go by these numbers that may not be accurate. So it's a little confusing. Having said that, this report was very strong. It was unexpected, and the stock market was positive on that. They're stating that there are plenty of jobs for people that are looking. However, they threw that term in. Remember, they threw that term in with gig economy, where gig economy, where everyone is trying to find these side hustles. So they're talking about Uber drivers. They're talking about, there's one chick that was on there that was selling her photos. Now, she didn't say she was an OnlyFans girl, but she said that she was selling her photos. She take pictures of herself and selling her photos online. So you guys tell me what that is. I don't know. It could be, she said that she was a burlesque person, and she also did some stuff that was drag. So she had multiple streams of income, and those were her gigs that she was pursuing. We had another girl that was an Uber driver, a lady that was Uber driver. She said that she delivered groceries. They count that as a job. So these numbers are counted, those type of gigs are counted as jobs, but they're not the traditional jobs. They're not traditionally people going to work, working a traditional 9 to 5. But overall, that report was pretty strong. And that's why you had such a positive response from the stock market. Now, Another thing that I want to make sure that we cover and understand is that the unemployment rate dipped from 3.5, I think it was, to 3.4%. So the unemployment rate dipped, the job market is strong, and so those things are very positive. I want to go back to last night when I said that when Fed Chair Powell said that, well, I don't really think that we're going to go into a recession. I don't really think that we're going to have a recession, because I know that my wisdom is not, the prevailing wisdom as part of my group, but I just have a gut feeling that we're not going to go into a recession. That was Chairman Powell. And I think that maybe Chairman Powell had a hint, or maybe somebody told him about these numbers coming out, that the unemployment numbers or the job report will be stronger than expected. And that's why I think that he came out and said, that's right, Randy, I'm putting them dots together. I'm putting them dots together. Okay. That's why he said, hey, listen, I just don't think that, old boy had a sneak peek of this numbers. That's what the deal was. Now, remember, what is a recession? Recession is 2 consecutive cycles of negative growth. Okay. So 2 consecutive. So we have 1 negative, then 1 positive, then 1 negative, then 1 positive. Guess what? We're not in a recession. It has to be, first quarter negative, second quarter negative. That's a recession. But first quarter negative, second quarter positive, even by a little, then the third quarter negative, no recession. Okay. So given these numbers that what you know now, based off of what you know now, I wanted you to put in the chat, and it's just going to be a guess, but do you think Chairman Powell, you side with him where we have no recession? Because most people are thinking that we're going to have a recession at the end of the year, 2023. I told you about all of these layoffs, remember, that are coming up. I told you about IBM. These are the big guys, IBM, Dell. These are household names, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. We talked about companies that we use every day, like Zoom, like LinkedIn, Coinbase, if you know that company, if you are an investor. We talked about real estate. I'm a real estate guy, and Open Door cutting 22% of their staff is very, very interesting. We talked, and that's probably a direct reflection to the high interest rate. And we talked about, Virgin Orbit, that's probably a smaller footprint, but they're cutting 85% of their workforce, all in 2023. So having that information, last question in the chat: recession 1, no recession 2. Do you think that Chairman Powell is on to something? You think he knows something that maybe some of his colleagues and cohort does not know? 1 recession, 2 recession. We're going to revisit this as the time, as we get closer and closer to that. And then the last thing I want you guys to pay particular attention to, because it's coming up. The last thing that is coming up, pay a lot of attention to this, is this debt ceiling. Guys, let me see if I can find that report. But I may run this since we have a little time. Let's see if I can find it. But even if we don't have even if we do find a way to raise the debt ceiling before the end of June, July, let me see if I can find it here. There was a report that was done that was really interesting on even if they raise it late, the debt ceiling is raised late. Just by 1 second. just by them showing brinkmanship and claiming that they're not going to do it can hurt us by quite a lot of money. Let me see if I can find that real quick. If I can't, tomorrow, Monday, when we next have the show, I'm going to have it up and then I'm going to talk about it. Let's see. I think I saw it here. I don't see it. Okay, I don't see it. But I'm going to have that report up to show you the cost of just all this posturing that seemed to be happening in Congress. I'm going to go into why it is, at least for the House chair, why he is, one of the possible motivations that he has for what he's doing. And then we're going to talk about the extremely negative effects of what's going on with the debt ceiling. So again, guys, this is David Carmena, and I'm still in the office. I want to thank you guys for coming in tonight. We talked a little bit about the very positive job market. It added 253,000 jobs, and the market was very favorable with right around a 1.5% and 2% increase. The major markets. We talked about we saw the fight. This is one of the, I've seen with respect to the diplomats fighting, I've seen people fight in like in Africa, those third world early democratic type of parliamentary procedures. I've seen chairs thrown. I've seen, I saw one lady African lady, beautiful. She was in traditional garb. She got dropped. She came across the old boy dropped, and the bodyguard start, tangling. I've seen that. I've seen, people slap each other. What I haven't seen is, the official come over and then old boy threw major hands. That was hilarious. Hopefully there's no major fallout that comes from that. Last thing we need is someone threatening to drop a nuclear bomb. I'm going to cover Ukraine too, because there seem to be some conceptions about why we are there. And it really is a serious reason why it's important, why the U.S. is supporting Ukraine in this conflict, and why it's important to keep it over there than have it come over here, or for it to spread outside of that region. So having that old boy throw the hands, and then, that was hilarious. I saw it when I was eating dinner today, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So as always, guys, if there are any final questions from the chat, is there any questions about the job report, about the about anything that you want to cover before we sign off for tonight? Anything? NATO. Yeah. We'll cover that also. And what powers they have. When you have these stakeholder states, and they have superpower and veto power, it's, and one of the things that, all right, so Trump, I shouldn't get into Trump that much, but because he's a polarizing figure. But one of the things that he did say, you got to give credit where it's due. Over there, the other countries did not react to Trump favorably. But one of the things that he was pushing is that everybody pay their fair share for equal protection. So we're supposed to be protecting these smaller countries, these countries that have a treaty alliance or alliance with us, right, via NATO, right? And yet the United States is the one that's footing the majority of the bill. And that's what defense budgeting is one of the. I'm going to make sure that I break down what's in that in the money that the debt ceiling, where all this money is going to, because defense spending is pretty important, and it's a significant amount. Defense is a significant amount of our overall budget. And so one of the things that Trump, one of the comments that Trump made was that, hey, listen, we are committed to global security. We want to help our allies, and yet we signed the same treaty that you guys or agreement that you guys signed, but we are footing 80%, 90% of the bill. Everybody else kind of, pay their fair share. And so that's not unreasonable. That's not unreasonable, is that if we are supporting Ukraine, everybody should provide, all of the countries should provide support to Ukraine. And for the most part, that is happening. For this conflict, that is happening. Christopher Williams says, true. That's right. Ian Allen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That is fair. Everybody kind of pay their fair share. And so, that's one thing about politics, is that people go to the extreme on both sides. I'm talking both sides, and they just start throwing apples at each other. There's common sense in the meeting in the middle, and what's fair is fair. And so you're absolutely right, Christopher Williams. That is only fair, is that all these countries are committed to global security. We are committed to helping our allies, and be committed. If it goes down, and you're supposed to pay your, provide. Hopefully, you're not providing boots on the ground. But let's say you're giving some military aid. You are providing financial support. Maybe you're helping out with the Red Cross. Maybe you're helping out with some training. If we have to do it, United States have to do it, and we're paying our fair share, you got to pay your fair share. Pay your fair share. That's only fair. And so Christopher, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. So we're going to do a deeper dive into actually what's going on in Ukraine. We're going to do a deeper dive into this debt ceiling, because that is actually it's going to happen, guys. It really is going to happen, but at least I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I really do, because if we default, the United States default on any debt, that will not be good. That will not be good. That is a nightmare scenario. Very nightmare. So again, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. We had a good one. If there's not any questions before I sign off, let's see what Chris says. What do you think about military equipment that was left in Iraq? Oh, okay. Good question, Christopher. Good question. Okay. I don't know the exact time frame, but it took us over a year to build up over there. And it would be, being ex-military, and kind of knowing I was in the Navy, so I wasn't, in a combat zone necessarily. So, but knowing what little I know, it was unlikely from the very beginning that we were going to bring all that equipment back. Now, maybe what we could have done, and I would have to double check to see if that equipment was rendered non-functional, so that it couldn't be used by the Taliban. But bringing it back is something that probably it just wasn't feasible, especially when you're talking about in the timeline that was set off for the withdrawal. That's just my personal opinion, Christopher. So, yeah. Ian Allen, thank you for the clap. We're going to get out of here. And I'm going to see you guys again. As always, please like and subscribe. I got to remember, I want you guys to remember to tell me to do that in the chat, because I always forget. I always think that you guys are going to like and subscribe and support. And I don't really think that I forget that I have to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Shout out to David. I know. Shout out. Thank you. Thank you, N. Allen. I didn't know that. Yep. Yep. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you guys. And as always, this is entertainment purposes only. This is for for you guys to kind of consume. Always, if it's investment advice, talk to your investment group, talk to your lawyer. This is strictly, don't sue a brother. Don't sue. Don't sue me. I ain't got it like it. I ain't got it. I do not got it. I am strictly just trying to give you guys some game. As always, salute and stay grinding. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you on Monday. On Monday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to have a whole new show. We're going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every night at 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at 1 or 2, maybe 3 topics of the day. We're going to talk about it. So if there's something that you see in the news that you want me to break down, let me know. My contact information is in the chat or in the thing. Just let me know. We'll talk about it and we'll kind of break it down, because I am, information is the next weapon, is what we as consumers need to know. If they throw out these terms like gig economy and FOMO and all these other terms, QE, QT. No, I'm going to tell you what they mean. I'm going to tell you what they mean, and I'm going to tell you how it will affect you, because it's all tied in. It's all tied in. And knowing how to play the game will make you so much more successful. So if there's something that you want me to cover, or the format every night at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And we're going to talk about 2 or 3 topics that are in the news. And then we're going to break that bad boy down. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. And I will see you next time. I'll see you on Monday at 10. Always stay grinding and salute.